Welcome everyone to another cinematic showdown between Tzeentch as Rice going up against Grand Cathay and Llama. Now we're going to be playing on the Ogre Mountains and a rather interesting matchup here. We have a regular build coming forward, I would say, from Grand Cathay, but the other side here we are going to have 5 units of the Forsaken in the front line. The bad boys with pretty good weapon strength here going to be ready on the front line, and of course they do have those shields, so they're going to be coming with 800 barrier, which is rather handy up against all those mass crossbows. 4 units of the Blue Horrors for a good range line, and then the Lord choice, which is going to be of the Tzeentch magic. So the Exalted Lord here of Tzeentch is going to be having the Fires of Change, as well as the Greater Arcane Conduit and the Plasmatic Plurality. We're also going to be having the spells of the Infernal Gateway, the Blue Fire of Tzeentch, and then also the Portal Gift. The pink fire is quite nice as well. It does do some good armor sundering, etc. Has some really nice abilities and very good up against infantry as well. So a bit surprised not to see that today, but the Infernal Gateway could be very powerful. In the backside, we are going to have, of course, the big bad blazing squealers. These boys doing backflips, all sorts of kung fu kicks. They are hilarious, I must say so. They are going to have the Arcane Mirth, and then also the Conduit of Infinity. Now that is only a one-use ability, but getting back ammunition is very powerful indeed. Now these bad boys, they do actually have the Warp Flame, so a really nice partnership there between themselves and the Mass Blue Horrors. In the backside, we are going to have 2 units of the Chaos Furies. They do, of course, come with shields and magic damage. 1 over here on the right-hand side, making 3 in total. In the front, we are going to be having the Lord choice of the Lord of Yin. So we're going to be a pretty interesting one here on a Great Longmarch. They're going to be having the Jade Amulet, as well as the Arcane Conduit, and then also Wood of the Dragons and Power of Yin. Spells here of the Ancestral Warriors, Talons of the Night, and Storm of the Shadows. Really quite like it here as well. We're not going to be having the Celestial Court, which is quite good because there's going to be lots of magic damage here coming forward from Tzeentch. On the front line, Jade Warriors Sword and Shield here, nice, cheap and cheerful. No chevrons added today, but they are going to get the Harmony buffs. We are going to be having Jade Warrior crossbows with shields. Very nice indeed. Those bronze shields really do go quite a long way with that 90 armor. In the backside, we are going to have Peasant Long Spearmen, the cheap boys that foam at the mouth. They're incredibly powerful, and you've got to be incredibly careful. So Celestial Dragon Guard, Peasant Horseman, and a unit of Great Longmarch in the sky. Very good there up against all Furies. One of the Grand Cannons in the middle, 256 armor piercing missile strength, over 450 range. Just really allows these builds to build in such a very good location as this mountain edge. It really gives that right hand side some good defense against the oncoming tides of chaos. Peasant Horsemen and more Peasant Spearmen in the trees. I think maybe going this far here from Llama, just checking if there's going to be any sneaky plays here coming forward on the right hand side. We're going to have a bit of a play on here. It looks like we are going to do the Storm of Shadows to slow down here the Exalted Lord. Slow him down and get some nice cannon shots coming forward. You can see the shield going down there. But of course the shield's not going to be too affected. It can regen to full health. It does take longer now these days. But still, nonetheless, unless you be hitting on that permanent health, the shield is going to remain the same. So the Grand Cannons probably want to shoot here into the front line, maybe taking care of some of these Forsaken, get rid of some of the boulders will be very handy as we hit the front line. Get a bit of a skip on in the backside, waiting patiently. The Chaos Furies are getting in position. Now, one thing I say here for new players, especially for Llama, I'd say this is a bit close for me. I'd definitely be getting my crossbows out and firing here amongst the Furies. They're going to get a nice rear charge there on the Peasant Horseman. Good work there coming from Rice. Yeah, it's going to be too close here up against Llama. Llama can turn around and shoot, and also we have the Great Longmarch that can pin them in place and just be a little bit of a nuisance here. In the front, good targeting here coming from Llama. Forsaken are going to get shot down. Models are going to be dropping. Blue Horrors as well getting fired upon. Maybe just some cannon fodder there going over the top. And we are now going to get a summon from the Exalted Lords. We are going to get that Chaos Fury gate, getting the Furies out and amongst the majority of the crossbows. Now there should be a fight in the middle here, and look at this. We are going to get a spell in the back. So what is this going to be? This could be yes, we are going to get an Infernal Gateway on top, and this is one of the most beautiful spells in the game. Can't quite see the health there. Oh my god, down to half already. Look at the chunks of damage coming down on the Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen. They have been filthily removed here from the battlefield. Negative 55 leadership, and the Lord comes down and finishes them off. And where once was some crossbows is now just going to be a mass body pool of dead elite crossbow warriors. In the middle, we are going to have the Jade Warrior shields just holding. We are trying to get the Peasant Long Spearmen around, but the front line is going to be engaging. We can see this right-hand side ridge is going to be protecting the right-hand side of the build. Furies are in. We do actually have Great Longmarch here trying to protect the crossbows in the back. And now we're going to be fighting. We are going to have Forsaken going up against Jade Warriors. They do have shields and pretty good armor. Neither side have really good armor piercing. The weapon strength will be on the advantage of the Forsaken. You definitely have to see them winning here in this matchup. 4,500 defense up against 20 though. So it's pretty much going to be a mass shred. In the middle, it's just going to be fighting on the front line. We are going to have Blue Horror fight over the top here, but shields and 90 armor for the Jade Warrior crossbows. As long as they stand still, getting that stance ability is rather handy. But we do have the big blue bird in the back here causing a mock and havoc everywhere. He's going to be fighting up against the Peasant Long Spearman, really shredding through these Jade Warrior crossbows, and you're just kind of preventing them from shooting, which is really smart. Use the mass of the big bird there, keep moving him around, but we do see some crossbows firing over the top, taking care of that shield, and then we'll start seeing some permanent damage coming in. We don't have any healing on the side of Tzeentch today, so all damage is permanent. Cannon fire sounding really awesome on the front line. They're probably going to be firing up against the blue horrors here in the back, but we do actually have some sneaky Forsaken, the Secret Agent Ninja action coming forward, but they are going to get spotted. They're going to be charging through, maybe have the Peasant Long Spearman coming ahead. They're going to create a nice heroic blockade up against the Jade Warrior shields. Another of these beautiful Infernal Gateways on the battlefield going to be coming alongside the Jade Warrior crossbow shields, and they're just getting thumped and deleted here from the battlefield. Really good stuff coming from Rice and the Exalted Lord of Tzeentch Magic. So Blue Horrors still going to be firing into the front. The Jade Warriors will definitely trade efficiently up against these bad boys. But still, nonetheless, there's going to be, attrition in numbers. They're going to be firing just mass blue bolts here into the front line. And there we go. They're actually going to be breaking and terrifying the Jade Warrior crossbows. So really nice stuff indeed. A second Fury Summon is going to come to the battlefield, compromising the crossbow shields, just allowing to protect the Lord Choice as much as possible. But the Lord Choice will come down as well here from Grand Cathay. The Lord of Yin is actually going to get the Ancestral Summons in the back. So we are going to see the Elite Warriors of old that have been blessed by the Storm Dragon herself as they fight with the anti-large armor piercing and magic damage, which is going to be very good here up against all the demons of Tzeentch. In the front, there is going to be mass Blue Horrors and mass Forsaken. You can see this bridge really kind of pocketing them into a very small patch where you can see the Grand Cannons firing in and doing some really devastating damage. Peasant Long Spearman and the Sword and Shield Jade Warriors going to be pushing out the Blue Horrors, causing a little bit of disarray here in the backline range. But now we're going to come in here with the Blazing Squealers. Maybe a little bit late for me here, I must say so, but maybe Rice maybe knows something I don't. But going to be firing in the front. The Grand Cannons just going to be shredding through bottles here. And sadly, they haven't really had too much of an impact on the game. They're a little bit far behind. And now we're going to be seeing the triple effects here coming out of Tzeentch. That's going to be the blue and pink fire bombardment on the battlefield. It's going to be very, very good indeed. Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be sharing that damage coming from the beautiful faction ability. Now, on the side here, we do have the Exalted Lord. He's going to be clearing up all of the Jade Warriors, causing that terror, and then also doing just some really good AP damage across the ranks. And we do actually have some of the Blue Horrors. I wouldn't actually mind seeing these bad boys pushing off the Jade Warrior shields and allowing the big duck here to go forward and, kind of claim some more victims. Do you see Peasant Long Spearman nice and close? Really want to stay close to the Grand Cannon, given those bolsters to reload skill and leadership is quite handy. Crossbows have been saved in the backside here, and it looks like for the majority we are going to be sitting here with Grand Cathay. Tzeentch have done a bit of a number here, but we are going to get the big bird here. He's going to be coming up against the Grand Cannon. And we know the Oxes, we know how powerful these bad boys, the battle veterans of Grand Cathay, are going to be trying to hold strong here up against the Exalted Lord. He's going to be getting kind of trapped here on a Grand Cannon. This is really, really unfortunate. I've not seen this before. But yeah, he's going to be trapped in and amongst all of the artillery pieces. That's really, really unfortunate. Yeah, I would scream like that as well if I got trapped here on a Grand Cannon. Now, we do see on the left-hand side, Peasant Horsemen going to be charging up against the Forsaken. Lovely work there. Good stuff. We can certainly see a break coming here from the Forsaken of Tzeentch. And but if they do hit back, they'll shred through these Peasant Horsemen. Even though they don't have frenzy anymore, they're still going to have 58 weapon strength, and they can shred through the no-armoured Peasant Horsemen. In the middle, we are going to see Blue Horrors charging through, and we have broken some of the Peasant Long Spearmen. Definitely want to be chasing these elements off the battlefield with the Lord Choice. There we go. One big attack animation, and he's going to be out of that pocket. But now he's going to be fighting up against the Sword and Shield Jade Warriors, and a bonus versus large Peasant Long Spearmen. So not looking too good for him here in the middle. This is going to be permanent damage as well. He has lost the shield. Probably wants to get away, get up in the sky, get some of that shield back, and a little bit more protection there for the long term for him. In the middle of the Blue Horrors, the Storm of Shadows has been activated. Both of these are going to be slow. Great long march here. Really not looking very healthy. For leadership, only 1,000 HP as they try and clear up the backside here of all of the demons. And we do see Forsaken shield back online, but it's not going to be looking too healthy. We're going to be down to 157 out of 800 that we started with, so not looking too grand here, I must say so. Jade Warrior is going to be fighting here alongside some of the Peasant Horsemen. Long Mars, looks like they're going to be rotating, perhaps. The Lord Choice here is actually going to be collecting up a few as the Blazing Squealers, going to be getting them around here. And now they can find combat pretty well, but they're not known for it. And the Dragon Lord is now going to get backed up here by some great long Mars. You can see they've been depleted quite well here, the Blazing Squealers, down to 1,700. I don't know how long the long Mars are going to last, but, the long Mars are going to be charging in here with the Lord Choice and, doing all the damage that is necessary. This is where the Great Big Bird probably does need to come in and maybe save the Blazing Squealers. It's going to be really the only element left that can kind of win the game. And we do see Blue Horrors here chasing off some cheap infantry. Really like that. Shatter and a break there for the Peasant Long Spin. Won't be seeing those back anytime soon. And we do actually have some Jade Warriors on the periphery. Definitely want to get the Lord Choice in. He has 450 armor piercing weapon strength. Some good cycle charging here on the Lord of Yin. Could be rather devastating, I must say so. But the Blazing Squirrels, they're going to be falling. They're going to be down to 830. And the Lord Choice here is probably going to clean up crew. Now we do see here in the back, what is this going to be? This is going to be a Storm of the Shadow. That's going to slow down the speed here. And therefore the effective charge bonus of the Forsaken. But they do come here into fighting stance with the Jade Warriors. There's going to be 80 armor here up against 85. And it looks like they're actually going to be having... No, they just lost it, but they did for a moment have their immune to psychology and their frenzy. It looks like in the sky, the Great Longmaw is going to be getting kind of pestered here by the Exalted Lord of Change. He's going to be pressuring the big bad boys in the sky and trying to see what damage he can do. Take down a couple of models, he certainly can do. That weapon strength is very high indeed. And now we're getting some return here of the Jade Warrior shields. That's where we want to get the Lord Choice in with his mobility, just, you know, kind of pushing these units off the battlefield. Because if we don't have any infantry units on the floor, we're not going to be able to fly here with the big burly bird. He's going to be certainly taking leadership penalties and maybe even the loss if we're not careful. So we do see here Great Longmaw is going to be clearing up the Forsaken, the Sword and Shield Infantry Jade Warriors, triple of them here in the pocket ready to go. And it looks like here we are going to get a blue flame here going down, a bit of a shot on the Great Longmaws. Maybe taking a couple of models out there. Going to be down to 8 now. And it looks like we are going to get the Armor Sundering effect going down on the Lord Choice. We do actually cast the Storm of Shadows. That's going to be reducing armor as well, which means the base weapon damage here to the Great Longmaws is going to do very well. We do see some Armor Sundering for the Great Longmaws. We actually missed the Lord Choice, but we're going to break there, I think. Now, we're going to get terrified with the Great Longmaws. You're quite surprised there. Such an elite unit of cavalry from Grand Cathay can be terrified. But nonetheless, they are going to be so, and the Sword and Shield just need to stay nice and close. But look at this! We are going to be having the Great Longmaw riding Lord of Yin chasing after the big demon of Tzeentch. The Tzeentch Caster is not happy. Now we're going to charge downtown here with the Great Longmaws. They return for the Lord Choice. They know what heroics need to be done here to finish off the demons. But we do see the Exalted Lord. He's not very happy. He's going to be getting charged down. He can't get away. He doesn't have the mobility here. And there's no infantry on the battlefield that can save him. Maybe, just maybe the Forsaken could return. But the Blue Horror is going to be trying balance of power now. For the very first time, going to be pulling into Grand Cathay's favor. Llama, could he bring the win here for the Grand Cathay forces? We are going to be crumbling with the Exalted Lord of Tzeentch. He's going to be down to 970. Seriously close here. Could we turn and burn, though? It looks like we are going to get... Oh, my God, I actually don't know what that was. But he's going to fall. That's going to be army losses. GG's, and well played here to Llama and Son of the Mountains. Brilliant game here, and I must say some fantastic battlefield awareness, using that, you know, the cliff edge there to kind of add a little bit of protection with the trees on that left-hand side for him was incredibly smart, and made it rather difficult there for the Tzeentch player to get in and, you know, certainly disrupt a lot of those backline troops. Now, we do see here the Lord of Yin coming at 2,260, and if we compare it here up to the Exalted Lord of Tzeentch, 3,135 damage value. Yeah, very, very good stuff. Both the Lords were used expertly here from Llama and Rice. 135 kills, 1,080 for the Great Longmaw Riders, 0 for the Celestial Dragon Crossbows. A really, really good spell there coming in from Rice. 850 for the Grand Cannon, 1,040, 260, 640, and 307 for the Jade Warrior Crossbows with shields. Very, very good in this matchup. 670, 700 for the Jade Warriors with 560 and 100. 41 and 430 there for the Peasant Horsemen. Nice, cheap and cheerful, very good at chasing off units and being a bit of a nuisance there for the Blue Horror back line. 460, 260, 380 and 240 there for the Peasant Long Spearmen. Only 960 there for the Blazing Squealers. We'll obviously see those getting a little bit more involved and maybe protected by the Furies. The Furies got quite busy. They did need to get in the backside and certainly compromise a few tools. Coming here from Grand Cathay, because, you know, the Jade Warrior Crossbow is very, very good indeed, but you definitely want to get the Lord Choice in. The big focus, I think, for me had to be, we definitely took down the Celestial Dragon Crossbows, but also the Great Longmaws. They are certainly a nuisance that need to be taken care of. We do see 630, 615, 320, as well as 650 and 475 there for the Forsaken. So not coming in at their price pool, sadly. But what do we get here for the blue horror? So 217, 500, 318, and 650. So you can see a bit of a mixture there between the two, and you can see the combination you would expect here to be quite good between the pairing. I do wonder maybe actually if you brought in a few of the spawn, maybe bring some Armor Sundering to the battlefield, maybe, just maybe, that could have been a bit of a change. But either way, just some food for thought. But we do see here 250, 220, and 240 for the Chaos Furies, and a very, very awesome game indeed. So if you guys enjoyed this one, do smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment down below with all your thoughts and opinions. What would you do? How would you change things? And maybe, you know, what different approaches would you take? Other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys all very, very soon.